We will walk hand in hand, and together we spread the good news that God is in the land.
Meeting downstairs. We had our flyers up in the window, and we all was saying like we're going to the mayor. Really hoping, praying for this to happen, and we did it. Give yourself a round of applause. Our mayor took the time out to come out, and he's going to speak in his res, and you know we really appreciate his support and taking his time out on a Sunday to come out and speak to us. So with no further ado, I want y'all to wipe the crumbs off your hands, some crumbs off the corner of your mouth, stand. I want y'all to give a warm reception for our mayor, RAS Baraka.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mayor put me up here. I didn't know that meant I had to speak first. Go ahead.
That's right.
But I just want to say, can you hear me with this mic?
Yes.
Okay, first I just want to give it up to the Source of Knowledge family. Right? Let's give it up, please. Right across the street. And now I get to come across the street and get some good healthy food now.
Yes,
Not just the books, I get to get some food. And we have to support this business.
Yes.
We understand that, right?
Yes.
We have to support this business, make sure that it maintains, that because this area is going to change very rapidly in a few years, very, very rapidly. And we want to make sure that Source of Knowledge stands the test of time, that they're able to sustain themselves, the store, their family, because they've been doing a lot for this city. And we want to thank them also for this lecture series that they're providing for us today too, right?
Yes.
Right. And of course we want to thank Mayor Sharp James for being here and his book that he wrote, Political Prisoner. It is you should check it out. You know, I've read it, whether he knows it or not. You know, you should. It's very interesting to say the least, right? So you should go, and it's downstairs for sale, I believe, as well, right? So she doesn't miss a beat. I just finished. I did my father's eulogy. Publishing company published it. I came here and it was in the store. I was like, she got it before me. So she's not playing games in here. So we definitely need to wrap our arms and our hands around the family of Source of Knowledge.
Yes.
I just want to say one thing about the lecture that we're about to receive today, right? That you guys and ladies are about to receive. First of all, my children watch Hidden Colors, right?
Yeah.
So, I sit my kids down and we watch Hidden Colors together. And of course some of the content is way above their heads, but that's what I'm there for, to explain what the content is about. It's our job to educate our own children.
Right.
That's fundamentally our job, right? And so we give the public sector the ability to educate our children through this pact that we have called government, but it's ultimately our responsibility to make sure that our children know themselves, right? And all of what we see happening, not just in Newark, but around the country in major cities like Newark. I know some of us believe that all of these things only happen in Newark. If that's the case, then it wouldn't be systemic. There's something systemic happening in this country where the level of poverty is the same across the nation for inner cities where we live. But the level of poverty is the same, where the kind of violence that is plaguing our community is from 100 people to 400 to 500 people. When the murder rate in one city drops from 700 to 400, and they say that that's progress, it means that we are in bad shape. That's right. When it's okay for 400 African American boys to be murdered annually in a city, and people think that that's progress, then we're in trouble. right? So I'm never going to get into the battle of 100 people got killed this year, 60 people got killed last year or the year after that, and they say, oh, Mayor, you're making progress because 85 people were murdered as opposed to 117. That's not really progress to me. Right? It becomes progress when we're able to annihilate the fact that we are murdering each other, right? That our kids have more access to guns and weapons than they have to quality food, a diploma and information like Hidden Colors. Like you would get a gun quicker in this neighborhood than you can get that video Hidden Colors. And that's problematic. Yes. That's problematic for all of us. We need to be pushing that in the school system, pushing that everywhere we are in this country, because ultimately people do things because they lack the knowledge of themselves. That's why we approach each other using the N-word. We say that and we don't say brother because we don't look at each other as family. Right? We say hood instead of neighborhood because we're putting something over our head to protect us from each other as opposed to loving each other and putting neighbor back in hood. We took neighbor out and it becomes hood because we opposed to one another and we're not together like a community or a family. Once we become a community and a family, then it becomes neighborhood again. But it's not neighborhood because we're not family, so we have to protect ourselves, not from people who are outside of the community, but from each other. Yes, sir. That's why it's a hood. And the people in the hood is called hoods, right? So, and the hood is something you use to protect yourself from the elements. And that's happening to them, and they're right. Something is happening to them, but it's not clear on why it's happening and who's doing it and how to stop it. And so only the person that they see closest to them becomes their enemy. And all of us in this room who have organizations, who have all kinds of programs that we do, we're not in competition with each other.
Right. That's right. That's right.
We're not in competition. When we would grow in competition, that linear kind of thinking that we've learned since we've been here, that straight line and not the kind of collective work and responsibility, the circular kind of thinking that we're supposed to have, this linear thinking makes you think that there's a bottom and there's a top. When you think that there's a bottom and there's a top, then you're going to fight each other to get to the top and push other people back down to the bottom. But when you understand that there is no bottom and the top, that there's a circle that we're all in the same circle and that we go around cyclical like this, that there's no bottom, there is no top, that all of us need each other in order to complete that unified circle, right? So your program needs my program. We need each other. And as long as we're competing with each other, then we can hurt each other. As long as it's okay for us to hit each other, then it's okay for us to kill each other. And as long as it's okay for us to kill each other, it's okay for our communities to be degraded and destroyed, right? And the last thing, and I'm going to sit down, I was listening to Ileana Vincent when she was out there in Ferguson. And those brothers were sharper than she thought they were. And she said to them, have we made it okay for other people to kill us because we're killing each other, right? And in one instance, you understand where she's coming from, but in the other side, when people go and shoot up schools in other people's neighborhoods, we don't use that as an excuse to say that now we should go in their neighborhoods and kill them, or go in their neighborhoods or that it's okay for us to murder other people. No, death is wrong and killing is wrong everywhere, right? The interesting thing about it is that we bought into this, so we say black on black crime. But when they kill each other, it's not white on white crime. Right? And so we just need to understand that crime is crime. At one point, when you looked at criminal in America, it was the immigrant. It was an immigrant picture they showed us. An immigrant, a battalion of Irish, of Jews who come over here was the picture of crime for America. Poor immigrants. Now there's poor African Americans, right? It's our turn to be criminalized in that way. And the only way we teach our people that we are not criminals is if they begin to look at things like Hidden Colors. They begin to understand who they came from, where they came from. They begin to understand the impact they had on the community, the world, how powerful they are, and that Africa is the origin of all humanity. All right. That's clear. That's clear. So when we understand that everybody of the human family are our brothers and sisters. Everybody of the human family are our brothers and sisters. Everybody in the human family are our brothers and sisters. They just originated from the Olduvai Gorge at the bottom of Ethiopia. The mitochondria DNA says that in there, if everybody traced their DNA back, that the origin of your DNA can be found in the peoples on the continent of Africa. So when the world treats their mother wrong, right? And they say, you don't disrespect your mother, right, to you. But when the world treats their mother wrong, then you see what happens to the world. When the world begins to understand they have to respect and uplift their mother, and when they begin to treat their mother right, then everything else falls into line because we embrace and love and treat our mother right. All of humanity has to treat the mother of Africa and put it on the level that it's supposed to be at, the level that it's supposed to be at, the level to be revered and not to be raped and destroyed, but the level to be praised and uplifted. God bless you.
About 10 years ago, I was out of work. I was a single mom. I had my son. He was like 2 years old, and I was looking for a job. So I'm like, you know, I kept looking around. I decided to go to City Hall. So this day, I happened to run into Mayor Sharp James in the elevator. And he said, good morning, Miss America. I said, I'm not Miss America. I'm Miss I Need a Job. He said, you need a job? I said, yeah. He said, well, look, what can you do? I said, well, you know, I was a cashier. You know, I was a bookkeeper. He said, get your resume and go upstairs to personnel, and we'll see what happens. Well, the rest was history. I've been at the city for about 10 years now. Wow. I'm actually deputy court administrator. Friday, I received my accreditation.
Excellent.
I'm 20 credits short of my bachelor's degree at the University of Phoenix in business management. But I just say that to say that you have to give somebody a chance. You have to talk to your youth. You never know what they're going through. You never know who life you can impact. And only thing he said to me was good morning, and the rest was history. Now, who are you going to say good morning or good afternoon to change their life and have them stand it before you? That's about how you impacted their life, and that's my personal testimony. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up our former Mayor Sharp James. I'll give it up for him. Wait a minute.
If someone would have told me that on a football Sunday, with 10 football games on, that source of knowledge will be able to track a standing room on crowd, upstairs, downstairs, everything, a food line, it makes this old man happy.
That's it.
Because this is what Dr. Martin Luther King charged us with in 1963 on the March on Washington. How long before we come together and deal with real issues and try to upgrade our cities and the quality of life? This is what Minister Farrakhan said in 1995 on the March, Million Man March. Go back to your communities and uplift. Go back to your communities and invest. Now I know Frederica Bay came back, took that $4 million note down there on James Street. I took a $2 million, $3 million note on Park Street. Source of knowledge here. But not too many followed that. And she's been struggling ever since, and the system will come after you. We're going to start a defense fund for Mayor RAS Baraka right here. If you're going to advance and uplift the black community, you got to be a risk taker. You cannot create jobs for black people. You cannot stop the 47% foreclosure rate of homes. You can't take control of our community unless you're a risk taker. He's going to need help down the road.
That's right.
And I'm a living proof of it.
Yep.
2 white women make $6 million. That don't bother me. They don't put me in bed with her. But if a black woman make $400,000, there got to be something wrong with it.
That's right. Ain't that something?
She paid the same price. What are we talking about? But that's the system in which we live. And Rand, I'm going to start going, I hear this superintendent. We go around and say, well, argue about the curriculum, debate. I want to argue on one thing. She's not qualified. She's never been principal of a public, parochial, private school in her life. She's never been an administrator over a district in her life. No black person on the planet Earth can walk to any community and say, I've never been a principal of any school and I want to be the superintendent of the largest district in the state of New Jersey. Can't happen. Can't happen. And then, not qualified and not a role model. And I know this is going to hurt some, The top female lady at the Jets was fired a month ago or 2 weeks. She's suing. She became pregnant out of wedlock, and they said it was a poor image. We have a superintendent who came to Newark with a husband out of wedlock and a child out of wedlock. We don't mind that, but if you're going to be superintendent of school, it's the wrong image and the wrong model for our children. You can't go nowhere. You can't go to South Orange, West Orange, Millburn with those credentials, never been a principal, marriage, what we call shacking up, and I want to be superintendent of school. Now, you want to stay home and do it, fine. But you want to be superintendent of school, you got to clean up your act.
That's right.
Folks, we are an endangered species.
Yes, we are.
And our young people don't know who we are.
They sure don't.
We are the kings and queens, the biggest, the brightest, and the best from Africa.
Yes.
They couldn't bring the weak ones over here. You couldn't stay alive for 90 days aboard the ship crossing the Great Ocean. They only picked what? The brightest, the best, the kings, the queens, the skilled, the craftsmen, and brought him to this country. You are the best and the brightest.
Thank you.
If you knew who you were, you wouldn't walk around showing your Fruit of the Loom drawers. And you go down here and look at the pictures on the wall, Harlem in 1958, they did not have their drawers showing.
They sure did.
We gotta know who we are. And we gotta start fighting for our people. And folks, as Honorable Mayor said, they turn us against each other by color, turn each other against us by class, turn each against us all kind of ways. And then the county government is buying all our leadership.
Yes, they are.
Almost every prominent black you can name is on the county payroll. Why? Because they can't represent them and represent us. If you represent your own people, it's called the monkey theory. Your blank is exposed. The higher you climb, because you're defending your own people. And that's what we got to start doing. We got to get in the trenches.
Yes, sir.
We got to be risk takers.
Yes.
Got to turn off the big television.
Yes.
Got to stop going to the parties. And we got to get serious about our destination and save a generation of our young people, because it's going to affect the quality of life that we have.
That's right.
That's where we are today. Now, why did I write a book? Because we need to start telling our story so they stop telling who we are and what we're about. They pick our leaders. You don't ever hear television say, this white man is a leader. Or they only do it for black folks. We will interview this leader. Who made him a leader? They pick our leaders. Tell us who we should follow. As soon as you begin to become independent and arrogant and about your own, they will put you on their team to take you away from our own people. So folks, I am so excited today to see this audience today. Come on, folks. This source of knowledge, whatever you've been doing it, keep doing it. And I want to support. Now I hope, and we gotta get clever. The only war we haven't won is economics.
That's it.
You can dance, sing, you're not a threat. But the minute you talk about money, the minute you talk about dollars and cents, the minute you talk about empowerment, the minute you talk about hiring and firing, you become an endangered species for a white man. Because now you know his game. It's all about what? Economics. They did not free the slaves because they loved it. If in order to save the Union, if in order to save capitalism, we were free you so we can put you in the front line and let you die first. Didn't say it was the right thing to do. If in order to save the Union, that's what Lincoln said. He didn't say I love you. He didn't say it was the right thing to do. If in order to save the Union, to save capitalism. That's what it's about. And who the first ones up front? Us. Who died first? Us. That's what it's all about. Now, I don't know why I'm here, but I bought books before I knew Source. Now I got 5 of them on my wall down there at the Key Club. Now it's changed to 58 Park Place. If I don't pay rent again, it'll be changed another name, but we're gonna keep changing, keep moving. And my wife couldn't exist without source of knowledge. A photographer comes here. This is what we don't have.
Right.
Support one another.
Yes.
Community invest. You know, a Korean came to my office, Mr. Mayor, and he said, I love America. I said, what is it you love America? You make money in America. We make money. I realized the guy hadn't been there long. I said, well, how you make money in America? What do you mean you love America? He said, me get up early. 3 o'clock in the morning, I go to Brielle. I fish. I catch fish. I bring back. I skill it. I put on ice. I sell to you. 11 o'clock. Friday, especially. 3 o'clock, we ask, is there another party? See what I mean? We ain't gonna get up 3 o'clock to go to Brielle to fish. It's all about what? Economics.
That's right.
It's all about economics, and that's what we gotta win. You can ride the bus, you can stay in a hotel, motel of our choice, we can do it all. But economics, folks, we got to learn to pull other, and what a great statement here. If everyone, we don't have any money? No, we don't have money, but let's take 10 now. You got 5, you got 2. Put all that together, and we can do anything we want to do. I used to hate going to the Black Issues Convention, and I loved Councilman Tucker. Went every time. We go down to Cherry Hill. Why we go to Cherry Hill? Because we know the folks, brothers who come there. Party at all the bars, drink all the liquor, talk everything about, and then they take 3 armored cars and take our money to the bank. But I always had a dream. If everyone stepped forward and gave $10, and then we put those $10 together, went and bought a Butler building, and then that next year we would have the convention in our building. Yeah. And the monies that we get there would be able to pay off the mortgage. Yeah. And then we would expand and grow and grow. Newark used to have a black hotel. Anyone remember the name? The Coleman Hotel.
Coleman, yeah.
What happened, folks? We should own a hotel across the street. Right. Should be our hotel.
That's right.
Ferguson, man, come on now. Newark is way ahead of them thanks to when this young man came out of Howard, was out there protesting, calling Sharp James all kind of names on the song. But we need to pool our resources and come together, and we can do it together. Individually, we might fall, but when we come together in unity, there is strength. And there's so much diversity in our race of people. It's a tapestry in itself. Yes, sir. And we can make Newark. Kenneth Allen Gibson said, wherever the American cities are going, Newark will get there first. All right. We and your mothers and your fathers and your aunts and your uncles were the ones, and of course, Baraka's family with Mary Baraka standing out there on William Street collecting money with a blanket on the sidewalk. We gave this nation the first African American of a major East Coast city in America. We shouldn't fail now. We're ahead of everywhere else. I'm going back to Ferguson, I was saying. When you are 75% of the population, and you have a white mayor, something is wrong. You ain't even right to find out. When you are 70% of the population and your council's predominantly white, something is wrong. When you are 75% of the population and the police force is 95% white, you know something is wrong. And when they're getting equipment from the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the FBI, who do you think they're going to use it against? You! You, the majority people! We knew ahead of that. We didn't have the right. Hey, folks, we're going to help them, but they got to wake up. They're 75% of the population. That's it. And they got what, 3 police officers, black or 50? They got nothing. Tell it. We're ahead of them. But now we got to what? Lead the nation. So our mayor, who is from Newark, for Newark, about Newark, and a product of Newark, he can't do it alone. He needs our help. When he speaks, if Christie know that we're behind him, that's a stronger man.
That's right. That's
When he deal with Joe D, and we're behind him, he's a stronger man. And that's what we don't understand. It's not about lights and what. I don't know. No, folks. Those days are over now. We have to mobilize our strength and our political power. You see, social power, numerical power must be turned into political power.
That's right.
Newark used to be, and we're going to get it back. No one could come in this state without coming to Newark, New Jersey. Start here. Now they're trying to shift it to the county.
That's right.
They're trying to shift it, they're trying to take away from our Newark. The Star Liar.
That's it. Yeah, the Star.
Moving out of Newark. After beating up on us all these years, they now done sold their plant to investors in New York City.
Right.
And they're going to disappear from Newark. Pastor Slaughter of St. James is on his knees begging to expand St. James Church. Hey, I need more, I need land, I need space. They wouldn't talk to him. They went over and offered $10 million, but New York investors gave them $5 million, so they're going to disappear. Well, they ain't never been our friend in the first place.
That's true. And we know that.
It used to be called the Newark Starlight. Oh, the Starlight, that's right. I get nervous when I talk about the Starlight. Then they dropped Newark, it was a Star Legend. Now they're going to move out of Newark. They want no part of us. They've never been fair to us.
Go.
So folks, I'm just here to say that I wrote a book. 15 years I was telling about lazy, so the white man could not tell the fine sharp girl. When they tell you a story now, you gotta say one thing. Did you read his book?
Yeah.
Now everyone told me, Sharp, you're gonna be sued, you're going to jail, because folks, I tell it all. Now, I was stopping when I was in City Hall, boom, boom, boom. But when I got in prison and saw them walls and couldn't move and couldn't do nothing, every movement, and took a flashlight at night and got on and made a tent on the bed, writing and typing and writing, I finally got it together. And I told the truth about the people I met. And by the way, you don't know who your friends are until you get in trouble. I made millionaires, I made politicians, I made leaders, and they didn't send me a 10-cent card when I was in jail. And then the people who I thought never spoke to me, never had a smile, said, here's a Bible.
That's right.
Can I help you? Do you need anything? Folks, you don't know who your friends are.
That's right.
When you got gas in your car, everybody riding with you. When you buying the food, everybody riding.
Yeah, get it up.
Get the need. Call someone 2 o'clock at night with a flat tire and say, hey, I need help. Come on. See how many people hang up on you. Ask somebody when you need $5. Could you help me out? See how many walk away from you.
I know that's right.
You need to have some trouble storms in your life, some dark days, in order to know who your true friends are.
That's right, Sean. That's right.
Some of the people I met in jail are now my best friends. I love them.
That's right.
They were wonderful, they were honest, they were straight, they were clear, and some of the folks who I helped out wouldn't speak. No, you're a Christian. Speak to find out who your true friends are. You can't appreciate happiness until you have some sadness.
I know that.
Can't really appreciate the light until you've been in some dark.
That's right.
So I'm just here to say congratulations, Source of Knowledge. I want to hear our keynote speaker tonight. This is a great beginning, and we should take from this and go back to what Minister Farrakhan told us and Dr. King. Dr. King said, how long, folks? If he were alive today, would he be happy? Would he be proud of us? Or would he be disappointed in us?
Disappointed.
Minister Farrakhan, that man said, go back to your community and invest, do something. It's up to each one of us. The sum of the parts equal the whole, and we can do it.
Yeah.
So, any question on me? Now, I want to hear that. lives in jail, so I've had it all.
Yes, I would like to know, you seem so passionate about us putting money together.
Right.
Would you implement this?
Okay.
Can we start
Right. We gonna have to do that at a meeting. That's a good idea. To build something up. And I want to make sure the source of knowledge creates a non-profit. Why did I say that?
That's true.
When the establishment come to you, they play games. Say, I want to help you. Are you a profit, for profit, or non? So if you say for profit, they say, well, I'm only going to help for non-profit. If you say non-profit, they say, I'm only going to help for profit. So the way you always have to come at them in this world today is to have both. And source of knowledge, all this education they do, all this training they do, they need a non-profit arm so they help. Because if they were a non-profit arm, I would leave here today with a $1,000 donation to a non-profit.
I know that's right. That's what we're talking about.
So we will have,
Another meeting.
and I think Mayor RAS Baraka will be one of those weekends, have a meeting where we have an economic summit.
Yes!
Where we're going to pool our resources and going to build something that we own.
That's it.
Now, you know, $10 won't break you, but $10 collect. If we had to tell everybody, hey, we can go to the bank and borrow, it multiplies. Let's prove that we're not crabs in a basket.
That's it.
We hate the success of one another.
Yeah.
Soon as one starts rising, we want to pull them down. We want to be against them. Or you're getting uppity, or you're looking too good, or you're acting. No, folks. Everybody should be up pulling up. If I give you a fish, you'll eat for a life. No, if I give you a fish, you'll eat for a day. If I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. We want to come together on an economic summit about eating for a lifetime, about building for a lifetime. We want to prove that slavery didn't work. Taught us to what? Hate one another.
No, it didn't.
House nigger, field nigger. Taught us to hate one another. Come on, folks. That's what it taught us to hate one another. Let us have that economic summit.
Yes.
And let us, non-profit and for-profit, and we're going to keep the records because they're going to come after our record keeping over there 124 Halsey Street, the State of Community Affairs Office, and we're going to build something.
Okay, I'm
We're going to ask the mayor for some land.
Yes.
All right.
And with the
You need a building
commitment
too, Mayor.
that we're going to build something. We're going to build a building of something to show that in unity there's strength, that we can do something. Thank you very much, guys.
We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the
Take it downstairs.
Spirit.
Thank you.
We are one in the Lord, and together we'll spread the good news that God is in the land, and together we'll spread the good news that God is in the land. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And together we spread the good news that God is in the land. And together we spread the good news that God is in the land. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We